Clickers are on the way. Okay,
Good.
so, yeah.
Okay.
So I'm Hank B, Josh T, and we're R.2.Cents Media, and we're back with another meme rant, as we're currently calling it. Sorry if you hear some noise in the background. We're currently 3D printing something. We're not going to tell you what yet. We're going to like kind of tease you with some of the stuff later on.
It's actually another one of these for a Mandalorian fan film.
I said we weren't showing it yet.
Saw nothing.
Yeah, so we have that going on. Thank you to whoever may have watched the first couple of rants. I believe by now we have 3 out. We are going to step away from the Star Wars stuff, even though we just showed you that, which we weren't going to show yet. And as you all saw by the meme that was up beforehand, this is kind of a meme that's the art's good, don't get me wrong. How do you like the art on that meme? I mean, it's
funny.
Pretty good pencil drawing. I mean, it's pretty simple, but you can still tell who the characters are.
It's like if someone had a sticky note, they got bored and threw it up real quick and it became something.
So, I mean, the art was nice. I mean, I thought they really depicted it well, but the overall feeling of that meme, I've seen a lot of different pictures of it, talking about how Tony Stark was the best Avenger, and how do you feel about that?
I think he's definitely one of the best. I mean, his technology goes to a certain extent, you know. He's a team player, like one of the top team players, but he's not the number one.
So
best.
I will say, just as reference, we are only talking about the Marvel Cinematic Universe because basically that's what the memes typically are talking about. We're not going to bring in comic books and things like that. This is strictly based on what has been shown on the TV and the TV series, movies and the TV series. So I think it's funny you called him a team player when he's one of the worst team players in this Marvel Cinematic Universe, in my opinion. I will say also, Robert Downey Jr. was the perfect actor to play the part. I mean, I don't think any actor could have captured Tony. He was Tony Stark. I mean, sometimes you know, just a character and the actor just come together and it's just perfect. But
when Iron Man first came out, I mean, that was one of my favorite movies. But then all the other Avengers started coming out. It's just like, I think I like that one more. Oh no, that one's definitely better.
Well,
just kind of progressed in a better way.
One of the problems I had was they were sticking Iron Man in everything. I was starting to get tired of them. Like, they basically made Iron Man responsible for Spider-Man, which that's not how it was. But again, that's comic versus movies. And it basically made it seem like you could not have anything without Iron Man, and that wasn't the case either. But back to the meme. Don't want to digress too much. You cannot say Tony Stark is the best. You cannot. He is the cause of everything that's wrong. Everything he did was a bad decision. And he refuses to accept his bad decisions and makes another bad decision to try to cover it up. He is narcissistic, egomaniacal, and he's a huge bully through every damn movie. If you don't agree with Tony Stark, he belittles you, bullies you into doing what he wants to do. Jesus Christ, Tony Stark is a horrible human being. You didn't think I was going to go that way, did you?
That was surprising.
Yeah.
Like it exploded a little bit.
I mean, we have talked a little bit about this on the slide, but yeah, again, Robert Downey Jr., that's why I preface it, great for the part. The character is great. I like what they did with it. But holy shit. Okay. He was an arms dealer right from the beginning. Okay, I mean, that's fair. I mean, that stuff has to get done. He has something bad happen to him and has an epiphany. Fine. Doesn't want to do the weapons anymore. And then he creates the Iron Legion, which is basically nothing but weapons that he controls, his own personal army. Okay. So once again, I go to that bully thing of, you know, now I agree that he should never have to give up his technology to the government because they're no better at controlling that stuff. But it's like Sokovia Accords, the whole thing of the Civil War, where him and Cap split. The Sokovia Accords are because of Tony Stark. He's like, we need to be regulated. No, motherfucker, you need to be regulated. See, I'm actually passionate about this. You see more curse words coming out of my mouth. I should say you hear more curse words coming out of my mouth on this than I usually try to do on these.
I'll put little bleeps on.
Yeah, but He is the reason you had Ultron. He convinces Banner, basically bullies him into it. And then when that shit hits the fan, you don't have to bleep that one because that's an actual terminology. He then decides to do it again to try to cover it up. Like, we're going to take something that he did and we're going to make it better so that they can fix my screw up from the beginning. And then everybody should be regulated afterwards. But you fought the regulation in frickin' Iron Man 2, didn't you?
Some good points.
Yeah, and we all know that Wanda did her mind mojo on it. Every Avenger knew they got affected by it. Tony Stark refuses to realize that the dream he saw may have just been her messing with him. He was so convinced that shit was real. Oh, I basically have to destroy the world because of what I saw. But yet, he never came to terminology because his ego was so high, he could not accept the fact that he needed help to get through that crap. Everything wrong in the MCU leading up to Infinity War is Tony Stark's fault. It's Tony Stark's fault. And then he gets mad at Bucky for killing his parents. Well, first off, his dad was also a weapons maker.
Yep.
Let's not forget that. His dad was involved with weapons making back when Captain America first came on the scene. We saw that in First Avenger. And so that's automatically going to target your father. And I'm not saying he can't have a reaction to that and then want to take it out on Bucky. But how many orphans did he make with his weapons? Kind of hypocritical, don't you think? But his ego refuses to accept that fact. So I've been kind of going on a tirade here, this is again a meme rant, but let's get you saying some words here.
Man, when I just watched the movies, I could just go to enjoy them. And, you know, I enjoyed the first one. Like, it was by far the best Iron Man. It hits the spot of, like, viewers, especially me being a viewer, because, like you were saying, he weapons manufacturer. And then when he sees them being in the wrong hands that didn't know that were being distributed to those other people because of the other bald guy like me that was selling them that he didn't know about, he was selling them to the Taliban or whoever the terrorists were at the time in those caves. But he didn't know, and he was getting blasted by his own weapons. He almost died by his own weapons. So then he realizes, oh, the whole world's got my weapons behind my back, me not even knowing about it. It's not just us in the U.S. I'm going to get out of here and do something about it. So he makes something of himself to be a superhero. But then you're right. You know, he makes this technology that only he has the wield to, and, you know, no one else can have it other than, you know, his wingman, War Machine.
Yeah, and even then he kind of fought that at the beginning too, because Rhodes was still too much in with the military. He didn't want the military to have control of his weapons. He only wanted to be the one to control them, but that does not necessarily mean that their weapons are still being used.
Share with his best friend now.
Like this jetpack?
I would share this jetpack with you.
We weren't going to show that yet. Well, you've already showed it once, but yes, we are making another jetpack.
But
spoiler alert. This is my Mark Ruffalo right here. Like, he just loves to spoil freaking everything. This is the Tom Holland Mark Ruffalo of the show. Spoiler alerts need to be just going across his mouth the whole time. Yeah, so great. So
yeah, but I mean, Iron Man 2, Iron Man 3, they were still cool, but you have a bunch of valid points.
Yeah.
Like, you know, he makes his own army of suits and stuff, which I thought was cool. He had a bunch of different types that he can go into, and then if he's ever in trouble, he can summon them, basically.
Remote control them, put them on sentry duty.
Yep. And, yeah, so it comes into when, like, the Avengers come into play. Thor, I think, is automatically 10 times better than he is, but he is a god. And, you know, Iron Man's just restricted to what technology he has. Captain America, I think, we'll get to that one. That one's going to be a different
That's
one.
different. We're going to talk about the Captain America Iron Man beef in a minute. Well, I mean, in all honesty, I mean, if you look at, they made Iron Man a little bit too OP, in my opinion. Like, oh, he just happens to be able to figure out every fucking thing. Excuse my language again. But seriously? You just happen to need Tony Stark to figure out time travel. Even though you got all these other geniuses. Oh, Tony Stark's the only one that can figure it out. I mean, it's like, come on, man. Seriously? And then you got all these people going, oh, he's the best because he sacrificed himself at the end. You had two Avengers that fought each other, best friends fought each other, willing to sacrifice themselves to get the stone for the chance of stopping Thanos. In my opinion, that puts like Hawkeye and Black Widow above him. And then you had a Vision who, like, he was willing to sacrifice himself. He's newly sentient. He's been around. He's in a new relationship. He's willing to sacrifice. There was several people willing to sacrifice themselves and step up to that line. But because he did, in an egotistical move, I'm sorry, I'm going to say it's an egotistical move, he had to be the one to control it. He couldn't let anybody else control it because he was afraid they might make a mistake and erase his daughter. Okay, I can understand the feeling behind that, but at the same time, there was other Avengers, there was other powered people available that could have handled the power and done it safely. I mean, let's be honest, he died because his contract was up. That was the only reason. And then he went and made a stinker of a movie, and now he's supposedly coming back. I mean,
like, what I picked up from the last movie is that they made the glove kind of universal fit, like it fit Hulk.
Yeah.
And Hulk used it the first time, messed himself up, and then it happened to be like a game of football, you know?
Yeah.
Tony Stark was the defensive player that happened to ran in head-to-head with Thanos, and he happened to have some weird ability to absorb his glove into his glove, and then...
But, no, I get it. I get how they did it. But still, it's just like, just because he sacrificed himself does not make him the greatest. He had a moment of redemption to take care of all of the mistakes he's made in the past. And there was plenty. Motherfucker.
Well, you guys have any 2 cents about if you think Tony Stark is the greatest Avenger? Let us know.
And tell us why. I'd like to hear your reasons, why you feel he's the best Avenger. And again, remember, this is my opinion. He has his opinion. You have your opinion. Everybody has the right to their opinion.
Everybody's got their 2 cents.
Yes.
But I'm the guy who just likes to watch movies and enjoy them for what they are. He's the guy who likes to watch movies and enjoy them for what they are and get down and dirty into
well, that's what the 6th viewing is for.
Their lore and their knowledge and like the backstories behind it, the front stories, the rear stories, the side stories. He'll know it. I'm just the guy. He is the guy.
I try.
So he's got an email here. Leave him an email. You probably saw it go through.
Yeah, we got a new ticker thing we're trying down here. Hopefully you like it. Let us know on that.
Yeah, and leave us something. If you don't,
he's not going to show you any more goodies next time.
Yeah. So something like that. I don't feel like saying anything this time.
Oh, that's
right.
right. So I think we're